General Motors will stop selling Chevrolet cars in Indonesia in March 2020. This stop is due to the company's market in the country that continues to shrink, according to General Motors Southeast Asia's President Director Hector Villarreal. This decision was taken after going through a series of comprehensive considerations of various business plans that are possible for GM Indonesia in the future. What is actually the reason behind the downfall of the car is usually called a Chevy. We can see it through the next graphic. The first graphic, actually, these are the reasons behind Chevrolet's downfall in Indonesia. The first reason was caused by the oppressed currency, less profit due to less market share, weakening commodity, and high operational costs. The President Director further said that the market segment in Indonesia isn't fit with Chevrolet market segment, supported by other factors such as weakening commodity price and foreign currency pressures, which affected Chevrolet's operation in Indonesia. However, Chairman of the Indonesian Automotive Industry Association, or so-called Gaikindo, Johannes Nangoy, was not surprised to hear the news of the Chevrolet Indonesia that finally gave up and left the domestic automotive industry. This sign has been read because the performance of the United States brand in the country continues to decline. Chevrolet sales in Indonesia have also not yielded positive results until now. Sales continue to eroded by competitors, especially Japanese players who appear to be more aggressive, and then followed by China, which is investing heavily. Actually, how bad is the sales of the American manufacturer in the Indonesian automotive market? To get a deeper view about Chevrolet sales in Indonesia, let's take a look at the data about Chevrolet wholesales in Indonesia. In 2014, the number of Chevrolet units that had been sold in Indonesia market reaching 10,000 units, but the number keeps on increasing. Until 2018, the number sold in Indonesian market reaching 200 or 2,500 units. And based on the data from Gaikindo, Chevrolet sales since 2015, as in wholesale sales, which is from factories to dealers, Chevrolet Indonesia per year are not even close to the number of distribution of the Toyota Avanza every month. Based on Gaikindo's data, the reason is indeed quite reasonable because in the last few years, sales have declined. Actually, as I mentioned to you before in the graphic, there had been an increase to 3,617 units in 2017 before returning to 2018. Sadly, in 2019, until last September, Chevrolet Indonesia's sales had not even reached 1,000 units, to be exact, 970 units. Most of the sales were dominated by Chevrolet Trax as the best-selling Chevy car in Indonesia, but of course, Chevrolet offers other cars as well. Here is the list of the most favorite Chevrolet cars in Indonesia for you. These are the list of the Chevrolet types that had been favorited by the people in Indonesia. The first one is Chevrolet Trax, Chevrolet Spark, Chevrolet Trailblazer, Chevrolet Colorado, and Chevrolet Aveo. As we know that Chevrolet Trax is in first position, class rivals such as Daihatsu Terios, Toyota Rush, and Hyundai BRV are quite behind in terms of engine performance and features. Chevrolet Trax performance indeed really good, but back again, Chevrolet Trax is much higher compared to the others. In fact, prices really matter to Indonesian customers. Most cars that sell in Indonesia are priced approximately below 200 million rupiah because the income per capita of the Indonesian people is only around 3,900 US dollar. And we may curious then the which brand car that afford to grab Indonesian consumers' attention. Then we can assess that through the next graphic. This is the list of domestic car sales for September 2019. Toyota reaching 31,900 units, Daihatsu 17,500 units, Mitsubishi on the third place 12,700, Honda 12,400 units, Suzuki 8,100 units, Isuzu 2,100 units. Nissan, and of course Peugeot. This one is taken from Gaikindo. As we can see through the data, Asian brands are dominating Indonesia's market share. Japanese producers in Indonesia, for example, they see the business opportunity better. Moreover, it has guts to invest heavily in Indonesia so that it can adjust the rules and regulations. Therefore, ultimately, the selling price will be competitive. With the pullout of Chevrolet from Indonesia, this will become the second automotive brand from the United States to resign from Indonesia market after Ford did it in 2016. Speaking of which, Chevrolet, or commonly called Chevy, turns out that automotive manufacturers from the United States have interesting facts that are not yet widely known. We can check it through the next graphic. This is the fact sheet, or the facts about Chevrolet. The first one is established in Indonesia by 1927, selling the first roadster model, 18th place in Indonesia, and first factory in Tanjung Priok by 1938. And one more thing, of the many four-wheel brands in the world, Chevrolet is one brand that is more than 100 years old. The famous American vehicle manufacturer built a strong reputation by creating modern, stylish, and reliable. However, deciding to stop selling does not mean that Chevrolet Indonesia is really leaving and closing all of its services in Indonesia. Later, their workshop will still remain open for Chevrolet users. Indonesia lost one more car brand from the United States and has good quality and performance. We hope that this difficult decision is consistent with GM's global strategy to stay focused on markets that have a clear path to achieve sustainable profits. And stay tuned on Market Headlines because we'll be right back after the break.